guys, it's Ty with Ty the Dog Guy on the Daily, and I want to ask you to do something. Don't do it right now, because especially if you're in your office or at school or something, you might get arrested or something like that. What I'm going to ask you is put your pants on the other way. If you're used to putting in your left leg first and then your right leg, try it the other way. Try to put on your right leg and then your left leg. Again, I see what you're doing. Don't do it now. Don't take off your pants. You're in a public place, for crying out loud. Don't do it. Tomorrow morning, when you hop out of the shower and you're getting dressed, put your pants on the other way. And I can guarantee you, it's going to feel weird. Now, I've never done a study or I've never read anything on this, but anyone I've ever talked to tells me that they always put their pants on the same way. It's either left leg first or right leg first. And when you do that, you do it day in, day out. And for most people, it might be they went to the gym or they had to change their clothes or they changed in and out of pajamas or whatever, so they might be doing it. Most people do it multiple times a day. And so when you compound that, over years, we're talking about thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of times you put on your pants. One way. It might be shorts, might be long pants, might be that fun little G-string, but you put it on the same way every time. And so what happens is this muscle memory of this is how I do this. This is how I do this. Now, you probably thought, this guy sure likes talking about pants. I tuned in for something dog training related. Let me get to that. Here's how this relates to your dog. Oftentimes when I'm working with a client and we're midway through our program, the question comes up, how long do I have to do this? Meaning, do this process where we give the command and we make sure that we're in a position to reward the dog. We make sure we're in a position to correct the dog if the dog doesn't do it properly. There's a system that we use when we're training, right? And everyone has their system. And so the question is, how long do I have to do this? Now, sometimes it's just, purely educational. They want to know, make sure they're doing things right. Other times it's said in frustration. They're like, oh, this is heavy. How long do I have to keep doing this? But either way, the question comes up, and it's a valid question, and it's an important question, because the answer comes into how long does it take for you to get 100% accustomed to putting on your pants one way? Because that's muscle memory. And the answer is, hundreds if not thousands of repetitions. And so the time comes when you're training your dog, if you're doing things well and you're doing things consistently, and those are big ifs, right? Because most people aren't terribly consistent. But let's assume that you're being consistent and you're using a system that works well, hopefully our system, but you're doing this, using this system. The time comes that things are just so natural for the dog. Like coming when called, why wouldn't I come when called? That's just what I do. It would feel odd for the dog, it would feel just as odd for the dog to not come when he hears come as it would for you to try to put your pants on the other way, because it's just a different thing that you normally do and it just feels off. Or, the same thing, it would feel weird for the dog to not stay when you ask him to stay. And what got you there? Repetitions. What will get you there with your dog? Repetitions. Repetitions have to be put in. And so this is important. This I tell my clients because we'll do a boot camp. Boot camp is where the dog comes and stays with us. And what some people are hoping for is this robot dog, this dog that comes back and is perfect every time. And I'm always clear with people, the dog's going to come back very, very good and excellent and doing things super well. But, boot camp's only a few weeks. He needs repetitions for months in order for it to become muscle memory, second nature, whatever you want to call that, right? And so there is no gaming the system. I mean, some systems are more effective than others, but there's no gaming the system in the sense that you can just not do those repetitions and still expect your dog to perform at a level that you want your dog to perform at time and time again. You've got to put in that effort one way or the other. So put on your pants the other way. Let's see how it goes.